So you're going to be seeing a fairly nice day, but Osaka, you're going to be getting some rain showers into your forecast. About 8 degrees for you. The Korean Peninsula, though, looking quite nice with temperatures for Seoul at 9. Pyongyang, about 6 degrees for you. Well, down towards Hong Kong, we are going to be seeing a break in the clouds. I think you're going to see some sun over the next couple of days. Hong Kong at 23 degrees. Most of the rain shower activity will be over here towards the west and also up to the north and the northwest. We're going to be picking up some very heavy snow showers into their forecast, and that is going to stay as we go into Friday. Down towards Australia, well, that's going to be a big story there. We have a lot of flooding going on. This has been a big problem over the last several weeks. We're looking at this area of low pressure still spinning really in the same location that we've had over the last couple of days. This is going to be bringing some flood warnings and flash flood warnings into effect for parts of Northern Territory as well as Queensland. Down towards the south, Sydney looking quite nice at 28, as well as Adelaide looking nice at 26.
Whether it's nature or man-made, an event or a memory, time affects our perception and tests our will. Places we go and things we see determine what we know and who we are. Open your eyes to a world of documentaries. Witness at this time on AlJazeera.
Hello again, a quick recap of our top stories. Forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi have carried out airstrikes against rebels in the town of Ras Lanuf. Dozens of people are reported to have been killed and 2 oil installations have been hit. Meanwhile, in Zawiya, some 40 people are believed to have died in Wednesday's fighting alone. Both sides are still claiming to have control over that city. A diplomatic war is being waged too. Senior representatives from Gaddafi's government have been sent to Egypt, Portugal and Belgium on a series of diplomatic missions. And renewed violence in Egypt is being blamed on loyalists of the former regime. Protesters demanding more political reform were attacked in Cairo's Liberation Square. To Tunisia now, where a court has finally dissolved the political party of the ousted president, Zine Al Abidine Ben Ali. The Constitutional Democratic Rally, or RCD, had been suspended last month, pending this court ruling. Nazanin Moshiri reports from Tunis.
Celebrations outside a Tunis courthouse. This is the moment many have been waiting for. The RCD, which ruled with the former president Ben Ali for 23 years, no longer exists.
This is an extraordinary end to a party that once had a membership of more than 2 million people. These people say they no longer want to be associated with the remnants of Tunisia's past regime.
In the past week, the country has gone further than Egypt to rid itself of an apparatus linked to decades of repression, dismantling the nation's political police and preparing to rewrite the constitution.
Today is a new era, a new country, a new page in our history, in our democracy, in our everything. Today we are building our heritage, our culture, our life. Today, the people, they say no, no, no.
Mohamed Ghariani is the highest-ranking member of this now dissolved party. He accepts the decision and for the first time makes this admission.
I apologize for all the bad things people from the RCD have done towards any citizens, any Tunisian man or woman, and I invite people to open a new page to former RCD members.
But there are members of this once powerful institution who won't give up so easily. One lawyer told me only the RCD can protect Tunisia from what he calls the Islamist threat.
What is left for the Tunisians? Ennahda, the Islamist party, has the offices which are the mosques. It has the Islamic rhetoric, which Tunisians accept easily. And now there is a political vacuum.
There will be an appeal, but it's unlikely to succeed. In the past few months, there have been so many historic moments in Tunisia. March 9th will be remembered as yet another end of an era. Nazanin Bashiri, Al Jazeera, Tunis.
Morocco's king, Mohammed VI, has made a rare address on state television. He announced plans for what he called comprehensive constitutional reform, with a commission to report back to him by June. This after thousands of Moroccans rallied last month demanding limits on the king's powers. Several smaller protests followed.
I am addressing my people today because I feel the gravity of the situation and the developments happening to our democratic system. I also want to talk about a review of our constitution and the reforms that we're planning to introduce. We're going to ask for a referendum on the constitution. We have been discussing a lot of constitutional reviews since we ascended to the throne.
Pro-democracy protesters in Yemen say their opposition to President Ali Abdullah Saleh has hardened following the latest killing of a protester. Security forces opened fire on Tuesday night on people rallying outside Sana'a University. At least 75 other people were injured. Hashim Mahalbara reports from Sana'a.
Security beefed up around the university square. Fury building in the aftermath of the deadly assault by security forces on these protesters. Spent ammunition and tear gas canisters litter the ground. The government says its act was prompted by the discovery of a cache of weapons. Allegations dismissed by the students who erected tents in this square, which has become the epicenter of the pro-democracy movement.
It was organised crime. Groups of security forces came from all directions and armed soldiers were positioned on the roofs of buildings. They started firing on us. It was followed by volleys of shots. It's a crime against humanity.
Violence is spreading across the country. In the province of Dhamar, a President Saleh stronghold, loyalists are seen here attacking the protesters despite the presence of security forces. Government pledges to stop the violence fail to deter loyalists armed with weapons, batons and daggers, spreading fear across the country. The ongoing attacks spurred these tribal leaders in the province of Marib to denounce President Saleh and join the protesters in their fight for a change in Yemen. Marib is home to most of Yemen's oil fields.
Mr. President, don't treat your people like Gaddafi. Mr. Saleh, don't disgrace your legacy. We implore you to leave Yemen and let the Yemenis decide their future.
For the time being, the embattled president clings to power. He has called for a national forum on Thursday to seek a peaceful solution to Yemen's deepening crisis. But the crisis isn't showing any signs of relenting. Parts of the country appear to be slipping beyond the control of the government, and the protesters reject calls for dialogue with President Saleh still in power. Hashim Al-Bara, Al Jazeera, Sana'a.